Hello. You alright?
Word up. Yeah, I'm good, mate.
Gangster.
I know.
You good?
Very well, thanks, mate.
Excellent.
Yeah. Had a bad day today, but you asked.
Is
you
it
don't have to get into
podcast
it.
worthy?
No, it's not.
Right, okay.
Yeah, I'm fine, thanks, mate. How are you?
Brilliant. Yeah, I'm not too bad, mate. I'm not too bad. I've had an alright day today. It's nice and sunny. We've got the doors open in the within this evening.
Yeah, it's a beautiful evening.
And do you know what I like to do on a warm summer's evening?
No, surprise me.
Drink beer.
Oh, of course.
Right.
Well, shall we welcome Charles from Love Beer then?
I'm a bit eager there. I was going to build it up a bit more.
I was going to say, I think that was your first segue, though.
Yeah.
You should have a high five.
You just jumped in there.
Segue.
Tried to take the fucking glory.
Sorry, yeah, I snuck in.
Yeah. We've recorded with yes, it's Charles who owns lovebeer.co.uk, and Charles has installed the bar in the with him, which is out of shot, but we will get some shots of that and show you it.
Yep.
And we did record an episode with Charles about 2 months ago, and it was quite a bad recording. So we've decided to bring him back. This time he's come back again with another shed load of lager. The recording's fine, we're just blagging it. We just wanted some more nice
Every
beer.
2 months.
Yeah.
Oh, Charles, that recording was so we fucked it up.
But
Eventually you're going to have to put one of them out.
but yeah, all right, mate.
Yeah, hello. Nice to be back.
Good.
It's got a lot more professional around here since I was last here. Yeah.
In what way?
When I was first here, you just started, and it was very much like a continuation of the drunk cast. Whereas I've just watched you guys do half an hour on lighting for the videos, which
yeah, we should say if you're listening on audio, our main man Brad Acton is videoing this evening. You all right, Brad?
How you doing?
Yeah, all good, mate. All good. So you will be able to watch this one on YouTube, as well as downloading it on iTunes and Acast.
Yeah, Brad. Just a quick one. Have you done the wanker game with anyone in the last couple of weeks?
I had a chat with my nan and she asked me how my week went, and for some reason that was the first thing that came into my mind. So
excellent.
Yeah, we did record me and you having a chinwag on and put it out on YouTube and Twitch, didn't we?
Yes.
So you can watch that one, and you can and hopefully you're watching this one now.
Yeah.
And if you are, just have a little look on underneath the screen. There's a little thing that says subscribe. So go and subscribe, you slicks.
Yes.
And well, what's the idea today then? What's your top 5?
So
Charles?
I am taking you through the top 5 Kent craft beer breweries.
Sweet.
Yeah. So the last one we did top 5 London breweries, didn't we?
Yep.
Which you guys have got an idea for how we're going to repay them for all the free beer.
Should we talk about that quickly?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Before we get into Kent beer,
we're
going to talk about London beer, which was the concept of the countdown when you originally recorded.
Yeah.
Which
I've had a lot of samples off of those breweries, and I didn't feel. I thought it'd be a bit of a taking a piss a little bit to go back and get my 5th or 6th set of samples.
Definitely.
And you know, and we'd want to say sorry to the breweries for that recording being a bit shit.
But
we have a but.
We are going to make it up to you. Mm-hmm. Hopefully in a nice way, and it won't just be an absolute freaking nightmare for all involved. But I think the idea is that we will do a hardcore listing brewery tour around the 5 breweries in London, where we will take our mobile podcast kit and go and drink beer in different breweries throughout the day.
Yep.
And
responsibly, of course.
Responsibly.
Yep. And
mic'd up.
Yep, mic'd up, and take a couple of listeners with us.
Yeah.
And we'll organise some kind of competition where we'll think of some kind of great idea as how you can put yourself forward and come out, and we'll have a day. Can I say on the piss, or is that not drinking responsibly?
Having a day sampling the beers from the different London.
I think that'll probably be more
breweries.
appropriate.
Yes. Yeah.
Leave me to do the professional stuff.
Sorry. Yeah. My bad.
But in order to invite listeners, so I'm thinking that we go. Brad comes along. 76 gets on the firm as well.
Yeah.
So it's the proper unit, the
Previous
hardcore
doesn't
listing
like beer,
crew.
so,
He can come if you want to come. You can come, Pip. But yeah. No, he may well do, man. That'd be carnage.
Yeah.
That'd be amazing if he does.
To be honest, he'll probably find a beer that he likes.
We should definitely ask Gal, because Gal's ace, and we owe her a night out.
Yeah.
So if
yes,
we can get,
yes, Gail, if you watch this, we're gonna.
listen.
We owe you a
come along.
night out, Gal Porter, and you're one of our most loveliest of guests, and you're good fun.
Yes.
So let's go out and.
Are you
drink
asking Gail out?
Well, yeah, I am. Yeah, but not in a sexy way. But yes.
So that'd be dope.
Yeah.
And in terms of listeners and thinking of a competition, Brad did half mention one a minute ago before I started filming. Best name of a beer. So people could name hardcore listing beers, and the top, however many, we could bring them along for the ride.
So you need. So let's get this clear. You need to come up with an idea. If Hardcore Listing had a signature beer, what would it be called?
The Dangerous Loner.
Straight away, the Dangerous Loner springs to mind.
Craig juice.
Oh, Craig Juice would have got my vote as well.
Sorry.
Right, we need to stop it because we're going to be
You're gonna
be
do all the
spoiling
good ones.
people's ideas. The Dangerous Loner was the first one, and Craig Juice is fucking inspired.
We should probably pick the low-hanging fruit though first.
Yes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we'll announce something, and where you'll find out about that will be on Hardcore Listing on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
Yep.
And we'll also do a few little adverts and stuff like that for YouTube and Twitch, because you can watch bits and pieces that we're doing now on there. Not all of our podcasts will be on YouTube and Twitch, but they'll always be on iTunes and
Yeah, for sure.
and
we're a
Acast,
podcast
but-
first, and we're going to drip feed you moving images
Yeah.
as and when.
And aside from that, there'll also be some weird little videos that me and Chris make that we'll put up on the YouTube channels and that. So you're all subscribing in large numbers, which is great.
I mean,
so
but people are subscribing. That's cool.
yeah,
For
so
saying
we
large
will
numbers, we're
reward
hardly-
you with some stupid shit.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so moving
On to the
onwards
beers.
today. So we're going to do beers, and while we're doing beers, are we going to kind of pepper it with some snacks?
Snacky snacks.
I don't think it's going to be a definitive countdown of snacks, is it?
No, it's what I raided
Right.
on my way here. But I got some I got pub snack related snacks.
That's good. Well, we've
I know
got
Charles
some here as well.
I recall you're vegetarian. Is it vegan?
Vegetarian.
Thank fuck.
Yeah.
Because as I was driving in, I
I'm
thought,
not as committed as vegan.
no.
Right.
But- so we got that covered.
Okay. Because you've got panda snaps, haven't you? Which is a
Made from real pandas.
real panda. Yeah. Okay. Right. Well, so we'll introduce a different. How many you got?
Is there more than 5 in there?
Yeah. So 3, 4, 5. Yeah.
Right. So you've got a load.
Hey.
I've got 3 or 4. So what we'll do is, as Charles talks through the beers, then we'll maybe introduce a couple of different sort of snacks in between, and yeah. So also, if you're one of them people that go like, yeah, I really love your podcast, guys. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to moan because it's free, but Chris just keeps eating crisps all night long. You're not going to enjoy this. Because there's going to be crunching, there's going to be swigging of beer, and we're probably going to get quite drunk. So, yeah, there'll probably be some.
So fuck you.
That's just ruddy bloody
But I
rude.
won't crunch. I'm going to say, when I eat my Crispies, I'm going to crunch away from the microphone responsibly.
Right, are you going to
Do
drink
whatever you want.
responsibly?
No.
Why not?
I think that's setting up to
struggle with
pass the
that.
buck onto you later
Okay,
on.
right.
When you get complaints, you can be like, I told you, it wasn't me.
But people have sussed out your crunching, haven't they?
In your mind,
We had Mr. Brett Goldstein on, didn't we, the other day?
let's not talk about that. Moving on.
You got
Right.
busted. Shall we quickly, because I'm getting parched, But shall we give a shout out to the London breweries that hit the hit list last time round that we're going to come and visit? Just to give them a quick
let's
shout
do it.
out.
Whistle through, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got Howling Hops in Stratford, Partizan Brewery in Bermondsey,
Yep.
Bullfinch in Herne Hill, 1 Mile End. I don't know what it's called up there, but it's near the Tottenham ground. Mm-hmm. They were probably one of our favourites.
Yeah.
And you've got Clarkshaw's, who absolutely you need to go and check out. They're all vegan beers, low waste, low energy emissions.
I was a big fan of that one.
Yeah,
I like
and
the
really
ethos.
nice people as well. They're husband and in all but certificate, husband and wife.
Yeah, that's right.
And they just absolutely smash it. Loveliest people in the world. So
Well, we'll be coming to
they're
see
my
you.
favourites,
We will
I
be
think.
coming to see you and buying some of your lovely alcohol.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And we'll be bringing some of you lot with us. So
Yeah.
let's have a little party, and we'll all we'll all have a little jolly boys outing.
Let's
girls.
have some beers.
Yeah.
Let's have some
Yes.
beers.
Right.
Yes.
Well, I'm gonna.
Are these in order?
Nope. I'm gonna. I will need to. You will need to get them out in order.
Just
though, yeah.
5 lovely beers.
So the first one, I haven't actually got a beer for you to try. Just it was my fault I didn't get around to them. They're both really they're vegans. They're both really nice lads. So I want to apologise for not finding the time on Monday to get around and see them. But they're a brewery called G2 Brewery. I'm getting the biggest evils from Stuart at the moment. I look like I have crushed him. So they've been going a couple of years. I wanted to kick off with them because I just like what they're about. They used to work in the solar energy industry. Mm-hmm. They quit that a few years ago to set up the brewery, and they've named their brewery is called G2 Brewing, and they're based in Ashford. And G2 is like their scientific celestial name for the sun, our sun, and our closest star. And all of their beers are named after stars, and obviously living in the countryside, I love my stars and all that. And I just really like them. They do some really good beers. They've got like the Southern Cross beer, which is a sort of American style craft beer.
Nice.
They've got Orion, they've got the Plough, and they've got this one, which is Sail, which is it's called a blonde ale because it's not carbonated, but the bottled one is closer to a lager. But a blonde ale is just essentially a flat lager, but it's brewed that way.
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Blonde. I mean, there's a brewery called Hepworth and Co. They're blonde in bottles. To all intents and purposes, is a lager, but it just actually tastes of something rather than your standard lager taste. Mm-hmm. But yeah, Sail is really tasty. It would have been a fantastic one to kick off with, but like I say, I went for around so many on Monday. It was the day after my birthday as well, so I wasn't in the most sprightly.
Oh, would you been
best
drinking really responsibly that night?
Yeah. Well, it was a Sunday, so not too bad. But
Yes.
it was more actually. It's been quite busy recently, so I was just enjoying doing absolutely nothing on my birthday, and I've gone out for my mate's birthday the day before, so just did absolutely nothing. It was fantastic, but as a result, I found it a bit of a struggle to get into it on Monday. I didn't leave the house until 11 o'clock, and so I didn't have time to get around
to pick them up.
But they're available all over the local area in Ashford. There's lots of local pubs. So if you're based in Ashford, that's really good. One thing to say about all of these is on the London breweries, pretty much every brewery has its own tap room where you can go and sample their beers. Kent doesn't have that culture because to get to a lot of these, you've got to drive about 15 miles out of your way.
Yeah,
and there's no public transport, so there's not a lot of use for them. But in terms of finding these, they're in lots and lots of local pubs, and there's loads of like little country pubs off the beaten path that you can find a lot of these in. So I'll maybe try.
That's a good thing, though.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. And actually driving around Kent, I realised just how beautiful it is.
It's a lovely place.
Yeah,
Garden of England, mate. Garden of England.
Not just like the
really
coastal
was,
towns,
actually.
but
yeah. There's one coming. The next one coming up, but like really pretty. And because I only see my little bit mainly, I don't go out towards Dover that much because it is literally just fields out that way. But it was having spent a day driving around there with my dog as well. She was in heaven.
Yeah,
I loved it. It was weather like this as well.
Yeah,
so.
lovely.
Yeah, it was ideal. But yeah, I'll try and get in touch with them and find out pubs that you can go and get it on. Because I'm going to do a blog post for both of the the podcast that we've
Yeah.
done, the Phantom podcast,
The
and
ghost,
this one.
the
Well, that would be
podcast-
good
the podcast that never made
you know,
it.
if, even if like you know, me and you just go and have a little recce around Kent, like it'd be
I'm
fun.
not going down country roads with you.
No, because my idea for another fun podcast, because you know I like jumping in lakes and rivers and stuff, and I just think that would be really good. We go out to Kent
Yep.
and like and we find some little rivers and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah,
and
cool.
We go and jump in them.
Yep.
And then we have some nice beer.
I like the beer bit. You jump in the rivers.
I
I'll
don't mind.
film you.
I don't mind. Brad, who's filming, he's done lots of wild swimming with us. He's come up in the mountains and swum with us. And
Is he legit? This is a real thing then, Brad? Because I always think he's bullshitting and he doesn't do it.
It's a real thing. It is pretty amazing as well. I highly recommend it.
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah,
go on
cool.
YouTube, midlife crisis wild swimming, and you can see me in a really ill-fitting wetsuit jumping in lakes and rivers in the mountains of Wales and Lake District and stuff. It's beautiful. So I think on a day like this, what could be better than going
Would be
out
cool.
to Kent and walking through some fields, finding some little places,
Hit this
having a
G2.
swim.
Hit a
Yeah.
G2.
Yeah, and they're really. There's a couple of the one thing I definitely noticed going around the Kent breweries is there's a lot of people that don't get out much in the Kent breweries. So but these guys are really nice people as well. You could really chat to them,
Wicked.
and got a lot of love for them. I think they're
Wicked.
Sweet, man.
Yeah.
Pretty well up for that. Yeah, looking forward to trying it as well. But yeah, I will take you up on the wild swimming.
Yeah, you feeling
I'll do
brave?
it. Yeah.
There's a great pond near where I live because I'm in the middle of loads of farmers' fields, so they have reservoirs that they dig in the middle of the ground and fill up. One of them's been taken over by a fishing club.
Right.
Yeah. So they've rented it and they just put loads of fish in there. But as a result, it's filtered and it's about a mile and a half walk. So like now that I'm not working full time or anything and I've got days to myself. That's getting got a lot this year because you can't go there on a Friday through to Monday. You have anglers on it.
Yeah.
But if you've got Tuesday to Thursday free, you can go for
Get
some
involved.
Really?
And it's like you walk into it and you can be up to your nipples and still see your feet. It is so clear. Yeah, it's beautiful. You're not supposed to be there, obviously.
Yeah.
It's
But that's half the fun.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh man, me and Brad
sounds
nearly
like-
swam in a reservoir when we was in, I think it was Wales. I think he was on that one, Brad. And literally just before we got in, there was a sign that said it had blue algae,
Yeah.
and that shit will kill you.
Really?
Yeah, was it called blue algae?
Sure it was.
It was something like that, and it
Dogweed.
no, it was blue algae, I think, and it was like that's
So did you say a dogweed or dogweed? Dogweed as in that's an algae.
no.
is it?
This was. I'm sure it was blue algae, and apparently
Okay.
it's dangerous as fuck.
Okay.
And we was literally just, hey, look at this fucking lake, it looks amazing. And like climbed over the fence and broke into it
shit.
and thought, right, let's have a, what's that mean? And it was like, let's have a little look. And it was like, oh no,
it all in Welsh?
that's
Did
really,
it?
it was. And
And the
it
pond
was
looked
like-
moody, did it, as
and
well?
it looked amazing, but then when you
Looked
actually,
really blue.
yeah, and when you looked it did, and when you
Yeah,
looked into
sort of
it, it
blue
was
algae.
like, fucking kill you. Oh no.
I have never even given that any thought. I'm
Yeah.
gonna have to double check that next time. I mean, I'm not dead yet, but
yeah.
Swim responsibly.
yeah, swim responsibly. Yeah.
Okay,
Right,
right.
shall we get an actual beer on?
Jesus
do it.
Christ.
Come on.
Come on!
Right, there's one in there with a purple label.
A bottle or a can?
With a purple head.
That's the one.
Oh.
Do we have a
So-
bottle opener?
Yes, we do.
Oh, we've got the best bottle opener.
Oh, I remember. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, it's pretty special, isn't it?
Right.
It's a big cock and balls.
That's shaped on
It's lighter than.
Carols, isn't it? Isn't that Carols?
Yes, that's actually moulded on my wife's stem and helmet. Stem and helmet, great name for a pub.
Amazing.
Now
Now, this bottle...
that's a dark beer.
It's a very dark beer.
Yeah, I love a dark
There's a
beer.
story behind that,
Cheers, bud.
which I'll get to in a minute. I'm trying to pour it really gently because I don't want to get any of the sediment out of it.
It
Okay.
really does look quite dark. Right,
I think I might have poured these a bit unevenly.
that's
So
all right. That's
You
all
ain't,
right.
you ain't
No
getting
worries.
nothing, Stu.
That bottle looks familiar.
Oh,
Yes.
that looks familiar to me as well. You've
Don't-
given me.
Copy what I say.
No.
We've said about this.
Thank you.
We
Proper
have...
dark.
Oh, gosh, we have had this.
Cheers, guys.
Yeah,
Cheers, gang.
Cheers. The second one.
Thank you. Cheers. Yeah. Cheers again.
Oh yeah, the
Oh,
bottle.
sorry,
Yeah.
Can you see the bottle if you're looking at it?
Which one should I?
Yeah, that's good.
That one, yeah.
There we go.
So this one is a brewery called Hop Demon. Hop Demon, it's one of the sort of weird old boys that needs to get out of his brewery a bit more, I think. But
I don't know if he's in there drinking this shit.
yeah,
he's all right.
that's the thing. It is really, really good. Really, really tasty beer, and like he's nice enough, but you know,
Vincent
just a bit
Price
like-
Owl.
Yeah. So does anybody know Vincent Price?
Vincent Price.
What, the actor?
Yeah.
Yeah, the vampire. Yeah.
So this is
Hammer Horror.
Yes,
Horror
that's
Hammer.
it.
Yeah.
So this is actually part of his estate, and it's brewed by Hop Demon for his daughter as part of the Vincent Price legacy.
Wow.
Yep. I
I
thought
want
you guys would
I
like
want to
that.
date his bloody daughter. Is she married?
I think he said daughter anyway, but I don't.
I'll date what but
She
son.
must be quite old.
I don't even care. I feel that would be the coolest person to marry, wouldn't it?
But yeah, officially licensed Vincent Price estate. Because when I first got this, I thought it was just
Like a little.
somebody that liked Vincent Price. You know?
Yeah,
But like
yeah.
he was like, no, this is
Yeah.
actually like proper. It's
Off
the real deal.
estate.
What was he from
They've-
Kent then?
They've sanctioned it. I'm not 100% sure about that. I didn't get
But
that
that's
far
where he's.
involved with
That's
it.
where his estate was. I'm assuming. Then he bought. That's where he
I
put
would
his
have
money.
thought so. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot where the brewery is. There's a lot of. I'm trying to find out. But
So
there's
we-
a lot of space around.
We
there,
didn't
so-
have that on the last one. did
I
But
think we
you've
had
given,
that.
You've
I think
given
we-
it. You passed that to us. I reckon for Halloween last year.
I
Nope.
think you
No?
dropped these off to the Romesh drunk cast
That
with
was it,
Scroobius
yeah.
Pip.
That was it.
That was where we drunk that.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, that is a proper drop. That is.
Yeah.
I could. Yeah. I could
what
have
would
that
what
all
would
night.
you like to eat with that, Chris? So let's.
I'll be right back.
So Chris is going to be bringing some of his favourite bar snacks to this this podcast. So
So I've gone for a lot of dark beers on this one.
okay.
Trying to turn you over to him a little bit.
I
'cause
know,
you're
no,
not a massive
I
fan of
am.
stouts,
I am.
so- yeah.
I think it's Chris that's a bit more.
Hey, what's this? What's wrong?
We're just talking about dark beers.
I love a dark beer.
Yeah?
They're probably my favourite. I probably prefer
there we
darks
go.
to brunettes to blondes.
All right.
So, just simple to start with is the pistachio.
Oh, they're hard work.
Really?
Show the camera what you've got.
Pistachios.
They're
Everyone knows
hard.
pistachios.
They're hard work.
Yeah, but they're a laborious
They are.
nut.
But they're going around for tea around your nan's kind of on board deshelling
Yeah.
them. You can kill a lot of time
Yeah, you
deshelling
have to listen
pistachios.
to your nang rabbiting
Yeah.
on about
And you
rationing.
can just be in pistachio land.
I didn't
also-
see a banana till I was 14. All right, then, don't give a fuck.
I also think if Scroobius Pip had an evil twin, it would be called Laborious Nut.
Oh, that's a good insult. That's very rude short to say these are laborious.
No, they're really nice, but like, what? Fundamentally, I'm greedy. So in the
he
time,
wants to put at least 3 in his mouth.
yes, like that exactly. Look, one nut.
I love how impassioned you get about
Yeah,
snacks.
you get so.
Oh, there was a TV program on last night where they went and they broke down Britain and snacks. It was really good, and they went to all these factories and showed how the crisps were made. Went through crisps throughout the years, and then went to Hip Chips, the place in Soho, which I've not been to yet.
We were supposed to go for your birthday, weren't we?
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
it all fell in because
all went a
no
bit
one wanted to
wonky,
go.
didn't it? I doubt that. I'm a hoot. Right, yeah, it's a laborious nut. It is a good nut, but it's, to me, in the time that I'm going to shell this,
You open that like a special person then. That was difficult for you, wasn't it?
how was that difficult?
You went, you
Bellin?
like, sort of like got all your hands around it and was like that. It's like a
I was
simple
just
look.
demonstrating to the camera how to open a pistachio. But, there you go. Look, I could have already have a lot of cashew nuts.
It's
which-
good. It's good for someone of your constitution then, isn't it?
But a cashew nut, is a cashew better than a pistachio?
I'll tell you what, we'll find out later.
Oh, hello. Okay.
Yeah.
Got some serious Casio
I've got
Casio games in there.
I've got the mother of all cashew nut in there,
All right.
but I'm gonna hold that.
Better
out
not
for a
have
little
honey on it, that's all I'm saying.
Oh. I've seen it.
bit. May or may not.
Okay. Right. What else? Have we got anything else to say about this beer?
They've just got some really good classic beers. This is probably one of their more out there ones.
So they're not all so dark.
No, his IPA is just a standard IPA. It's nice, easy drinking. And then he's got his Helles beer. Helles is a more German style lager, so it's got a little bit more body to it, and that's really tasty as well. Generally, just a really, really good brewer. He's I haven't tasted a beer that I particularly dislike from him.
Can I read what's on the side of the bottle?
Yeah.
So this is VPA, which is Vincent Price Ale, Black Cat. Is Black Cat the brewery?
No,
Black Cat's the Vincent Price Brewery. Sorry, yeah.
No. It's Hop Demon Brewery,
Right,
and it's
so-
called the VPA Black Cat.
Gotcha. Right. Okay. Sorry.
You sure you want to read this? Should we get Charles? Just get Charles to read it.
When he wasn't hosting haunted house parties or filling his theatre of blood with the corpses of his critics, horror film icon Vincent Price, 1911 to 1993, loved a wicked brew. The darker the better, of course. Our first Vincent Price Ale, VPA Black Cat, pays tribute to the master of menaces' frightful encounters with meddlesome moggies and possessed pussies in his cult 1960s classics Tales of Terror and Tomb of Ligeia. It was a crispy, hoppy American IPA wrapped in a bold and dangerously dark cape, and with a smooth, malty background, complemented by a crisp, vibrant New World aroma created from the Hop Demon's own expressive dry hopping regime. I'm loving that.
It's very, very well written, isn't it?
There's some good blurbs on these. Actually, G2 Brewing, their blurbs on their beers. There's a lot of pomp in there, but they are a good read. You might get a bit of sediment in there.
That's all right.
He's not fussed. You can have a hangover, because that's what we learnt last time.
Is it the sediment that gives you the hangover?
That gives you the hangover, mate.
With this
Bosh.
shot of sediment there. Yeah, if you, you may have noticed after you did the 12 Beers of Christmas with the Ramesh Ranganathan, because me and my girlfriend did the same, split the box between the two of us, and we had the worst hangover we've had in a long time after that.
However bad that was, I can guarantee you that Ramesh Ranganathan's hangover was a lot fucking worse than anything we had.
I think even by the time he got upstairs, his hangover.
He didn't have the 12 bottles of beer, did he? He didn't even have 6 bottles of beer. He had the 1 bottle of Kraken rum.
In an hour.
Drunk neatly.
In an hour. Right, that was dangerous.
Yeah, that was pretty. There was a point, I think, like halfway through the second one, where one of you went, "Have you finished that bottle?" And there was a distinct hint of concern in everyone's voice.
Well, I was sitting next to him and I just kept looking. I was thinking, holy shit, he's smashing through that bottle.
Respect to him.
Yeah.
I, for once, instead of thinking I need to pace myself because I'm getting overexcited, I was thinking,
Better play catch up.
this guy, I had to speed up my drinking. By episode 3, I was on an even keel, and by about episode 4, I think me and him were just screaming at each other.
I think that was the case. I think it was me. I think was it me and Brett. I think had to help him up the stairs to get him out of there. Yeah,
It was a good listen. I mean, it really was like it had me rolling on the floor at points because there's nothing quite like you work on bar quite a lot. I've done a lot of. I do a lot of work on festival bars, and there is nothing more fun than watching someone get in the responsibly watching someone get obliterated.
Yes, whilst drinking very responsibly.
Yeah, it can be really, as long as you're there to
Well, that's
look
what
after
happened
them
when you
and
drink a
there's lots
bottle of
water and
spirits.
that.
We're drinking beer responsibly, aren't we?
We've had a third of a bottle between us.
And a shot of sediment.
Yeah, I mean, all of this is going to be. We're not going to be drinking loads because it's they're 330ml bottles. Once we get a couple of pints in, I'm sure Brad's going to be having a little sip as well. So there's not a lot of alcohol going on here.
Okay.
It's those shots of tequila in between that is
When we edit those bits out.
Right, well, look, before we get moving on, I'm going to do an honourable mention to the Thai chili sensation, which is a Division 1 crisp.
Division 1.
It is.
Yeah,
it is.
it's
It's
up
up there.
there. It is up there.
It was a game. We discussed it.
Yeah,
It
but
has been a game changer.
We bust them open a bit earlier, so bring your second snack to the table, Chris, before Charles brings out
What, you already having it? No, my snack will match the beer. I'm going to try it. I started a bit softer.
Don't make out that you've prepped.
I've prepped.
Bullshit. Absolute bullshit.
Done a lot of prep. So let's have the next beer.
Okay.
The small can, please. Okay. Maestro.
Right. I'll let you introduce that one, Charles.
All good, Brad? Yeah. This is Time and Tide Brewing.
Time and Tide?
Yeah, Time and Tide Brewing. I don't know if it's popped or something a little bit, actually. not sure.
Nice.
It'll be fine, yeah.
We'll give it a little try.
Yeah, Time and Tide Brewing. This isn't actually the beer that I wanted to showcase from them. They're probably one of the closest breweries in Kent, except for the last one, that is like a sort of proper traditional, well, not traditional, new age craft beer brewery. They're doing some quite interesting
Well,
things.
but break that down then. So what is the difference from the kind of what people might perceive as like your hipster kind of thing where people have decided to start making beer in...
Yeah,
Cheers,
so I
mate.
mean, and it's also a good distinction to make in terms, because craft beer is starting to get pretty bastardised by the big breweries. So Shepherd Neame, where I'm based, they've started releasing a new range of beers under the guise of Whitstable. There's probably a bit of sediment in there as well.
That's okay.
Under the guise of Whitstable Bay. So Shepherd Neame Brewery.
I know Whitstable Bay.
Yeah, that is essentially just Shepherd Neame.
That's where you get your oysters on, isn't it? Is it oysters?
You get all your
Whitstable.
seafood there. Yeah.
Yeah, you
Whitstable.
can get them
Yeah.
there. Yeah. There's an oyster
They're
market.
very
there,
nice.
Yeah.
Really nice, mate.
But
Right. Whoa.
What?
Have you had oysters in Whitstable?
Yes.
Really?
24 months ago, with an X.
24 months ago? Who even
3
says
days.
that?
2 years ago,
Yeah.
a while ago, some time ago.
What did you have on them?
Oh, mix it up, but I never know exactly because some of them they.
Right, now you're saying it like you have them quite a lot.
I don't. But you know,
I've
you
never
have
had an
different-
oyster.
Haven't you?
No.
Neither
All
have
right,
I.
well, you you might be missing out. Not everyone likes them though.
Like, I'd like to try one.
Yeah.
How many times have you had oysters?
I'd say only on 10 occasions. What?
Before you stopped eating fish, Brad, have you ever had an oyster?
I had one outside.
Not
a pub
from the
in-
ice cream man.
No, I had one outside a pub in Tilbury, and it made me sick.
Pub in Tilbury.
A pub in Tilbury.
You know that, did that when you set yourself up? Oh man, I can't imagine that.
You sure that was an oyster?
Yeah.
That sounds like something.
Someone jizzed in a snail shell.
Snouges. Good name for a beer.
Yeah. No, I have, yeah. The first time was in Ibiza, and they said, this has never happened since, although I don't know if a combination of these events has happened, but we were like, oh, let's give oysters a whirl. We've completely derailed the beer
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
presentation. Sorry,
I've
Charles.
put a bookmark on where I
Okay,
was.
cool.
So-
We will spiral off and talk nonsense. You know the drill.
yeah, I've listened to enough of you guys.
And we were in this restaurant, and they said there was oysters. I was like, I really want to try one. I like trying new food. And they brought it out, and they said, right, here you go, have it. And you could either have it plain, or we also had them with
Tabasco.
Tabasco. Yeah, I believe so. It was something like that. And did them. And then the waitress said, but you have to stay away from white spirits now. And we're like, oh, okay, cool. She said, yeah, because you can have a reaction on it. So then we had a night, and we wasn't going proper clubbing. We went to some of the local bars in the city of Ibiza. And one of our friends was out there. She was working there, but she happened to be working in a strip club. And she said, why don't you come down? So we were like, okay, we'll pop in there. And we went in there, and that's when I decided to have a vodka and Red Bull, because it was getting quite late. I thought, I want to wake up. Had a vodka Red Bull, and must have had a couple. And then Mark went to me, you're breaking out in spots and hives. And I went to the toilet, and my whole face had just gone red blotches everywhere. everywhere. And I was just hanging in this fucking strip club like this.
dangerous.
I felt awful. I felt like a real creepy,
Did you feel ill
extra
as well?
creepy. Did I what?
Did you feel ill as well?
No, I felt fine.
Yeah, you just
But my
looked like
face
a...
just went it looked like an
red-
absolute little red blotches all
I
over
get
me.
All over you?
All over me.
On your
I get
balls?
really bad hay
Didn't get
fever.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I get the same thing, and it's not on the balls. I get really bad hay fever, and if I take antihistamine, I'm allergic to them, and I come out in loads of little red
shit,
blotches.
really?
Yeah, it's a nightmare. A little top tip though: dried elderflower and nettles is a really good hay fever remedy.
Things to rub on your balls.
Yeah,
the
rub on your
nettles,
balls. Yeah, it's like you know that mint shower gel.
Yeah.
Original. Yeah, it's like that on steroids.
That's not too bad on the plums, but if you go for a peel back and go for a helmet wash, a proper gentleman's rub, ooh.
Do you not always peel? I mean, how are we on there? We should be talking about craft beer, but do you not always go for a peel back?
This
Yeah, of
is
course.
spiraled very quickly, isn't it?
Of course,
Have
yeah,
you
but
drunk it?
yeah, you want your bell piece to be minty fresh, don't you?
You sure do. Shall we quickly get back onto the beer? Because
You could eat your dinner off
I've
of
got
mine,
about five other things to say there, and it's gonna. Right, so we got to Whitstable Bay.
Should we try it?
Yeah, crack it up.
Cheers, gang.
Yeah. Screw you, Stu.
Sorry, guys, I was rude there. I didn't ching.
Right, so yeah, you've got. Well, what do you guys think?
That's delicious, Brad. Do you
Yeah,
want
it's
to
a
try that?
bit hazier than it should be. It's
really nice.
I've managed to pour a load of sediment into it.
That's all right.
Are you
Sorry.
dying?
I got a bit of pistachio at the back of my throat.
See?
Don't start
Laborious
confirmation
nut.
bias. Yeah, okay.
Right,
It's,
so-
it's citrusy. It's lovely. It's a real good
Really,
one.
really good. Yeah. So craft beer.
That's not dark, is it? That's
No,
that's a
you've
lot
got,
lighter.
You've got two. This is the only light one, actually.
Oh, good night.
No, I'm not blaming with all the geese.
Good night. Love you.
Love you too.
So traditionally, craft beer was essentially just had a higher amount of hops in it, which is why it costs a lot more because hops are expensive.
Yeah.
After the war in England, we started brewing shit dishwater beer because hops are expensive, and just about we could get a bit of barley to make the malt out of it. So that's where a bitter comes from. So craft beer has always traditionally had more flavour to it, but what the big breweries have started doing recently is releasing their own crap beer and saying it's their craft beer version. So like Whitstable Bay is the craft beer brewery for Shepherd Neame. But actually, if you have a Whitstable Bay Pale Ale, it's nice. It's nicer than like a Spitfire or something like that. But it's not something like this. This has got flavour notes. The Whitstable Pale Ale is just a nice weak beer. So what that means is that you're getting a lot of people going into Shepherd Neame pubs, trying their first craft beer in inverted commas, and it's actually, and then they're going, I don't really like craft beer, and it's because they've not actually had something that's a properly crafted beer.
Yeah.
So I don't really know how you get around that because they're proper screwing the scene at the moment. But and there's an even bigger merger. There's a merger coming on, which means essentially every beer is going to be owned by one company, and that's just going to make it even harder for the little microbreweries to get in on there.
So speaking of like,
Yeah, you've
big,
got, sorry.
go on. No.
Well, you've got SAB Miller, which used to be South African breweries, and then the Miller's brand. They merged, and then you've got another one that I can't pronounce because it's German, but they own people like Budweiser, and SAB Miller and the people that I can't pronounce are merging. And that represents like 95% of what you'd see at Tesco's or something like that. It's a really big issue, and it means they've then got more market clout to knock out, and they are scared at the moment of craft beer, especially in the UK.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a bit of a worry. I don't really know.
Oh, fuck.
It's kind of why on the last one I was saying I prefer to use the term microbreweries because it cuts away from that craft beer and also the connotations of the hipsters and stuff. I don't think it's particularly helpful for your old beardy ale drinkers getting into their local breweries because actually in Kent there's so many breweries. Most people have got a local brewery. Same with London.
So, to a lot of people that may not go out and drink craft beer, or if they do, might pop into Sainsbury's and buy Brewdog.
Brewdog, all right.
Yeah, tell me about Brewdog, because were they not in the papers not that long ago? Did they try and did someone open a bar? I think that used the name Brewed, like, or something like that, and they basically come down on him big time.
Yeah, they will do. And I think before we came on air, I was talking about Camera and the way they act as well.
Camera is the campaign for Real Ale.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
Now, I've been to Camera events, and that is more predominantly your older fella with a tankard turning up to drink.
Yeah, they're cask ales.
Yeah.
So they have very certain criteria as to what they'll put their name to. And with Brewdog, they won't. Even for me, if I get I hire kegs out to people, so you do little pop-ups event and that sort of thing. If somebody wants Brewdog, I have to jump through so many hoops to get it because they close that network down. The reason why they do that is because of the people like the big breweries, because they're very exclusive. They try and shut people out, and so the only way for somebody like Brewdog to get in is to also do the same. But I think we're almost on a tipping point where as I found from doing a lot of the microbreweries, there's a lot of collaboration going on. Everybody's never says a bad word about anybody else in the scene, and it's a really nice place to be, and a really nice community to be in.
You said it wasn't competitive at all.
No,
you said
no.
it was very much like people would borrow hops from each other. And
so I mean, Partizan Brewing, they are in Bermondsey. In Bermondsey, you've got the Bermondsey Mile. I mean, a couple of years ago, I think there were like 5 or 6 along there. There's even more now. Partizan originally got their first brew set up from a brewery that is like a minute walk away from them, called the Colonel Brewery. They just got given all of this equipment for free. If somebody runs out of a certain type of hops, everybody gives each other hops, and there's just this reciprocal relationship. And you'll go up there and you can be talking about, like I think you said, if you go to Partizan and start talking about their pale ale, there's somebody up the road that theoretically is competition, but they're never going to badmouth them. Which is the world away from the way people like Shep and Neiman Brewdog act. And actually, I think, Brewdog, because they are like the craft beer brewery, and they're good. I like a lot of their stuff. They're not, a lot of the time, they're not doing anything particularly groundbreaking, but they've got really good, consistent beer.
Solid, yeah.
But I think there's probably a bit of scope for them starting to get a few of these smaller people involved in it. Like they've got the Brewdog in Camden, which is great, and it's so stylish as well.
Yeah.
They really made me jump. They've really hit the nail on the head. They great beer, great style, and all that sort of thing. But they're shutting out the little guys as much as some of the big breweries are at the moment.
Yeah.
Which for me isn't really the spirit of craft.
Yeah.
But I also see exactly why they've done it, and it's the same with Camera. They had to set themselves apart and be quite restrictive about what they put their name to, because otherwise you just get sidelined, and you need to have something that set you apart. But I think now there's so many microbreweries in the scene that you can all work together to tell the bigger guys to F off
We
a bit.
found that we've only recently started, obviously. There's a really nice community of podcasters.
How was that podcast
It
award
was
when
fucking
you went up
amazing, and it was really inspiring.
Yeah?
It genuinely was, because everyone was so committed and into what they were doing, and we just started out, and we've been enjoying it.
Yeah.
But I think it made us sort of raise our game a little bit and be like, fuck, we want to win an award next year.
It's a passion project, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like every person's thing is a passion.
But we met lots of people that night, and since then they've followed us. We've followed them on social media, and we've been invited, and we will be appearing on other podcasts soon, and we're going to get other podcasts on here and stuff. And it's nice, isn't it? That people. It's not like, they're not as good as us, and it's not about that, Well, obviously we know we're the best one, but it's, it is nice that
crowning jewel in the distraction piece, isn't it?
Absolutely,
Yeah, of course.
mate, absolutely.
The distraction, what?
Yeah.
Can't call listening.
Yeah.
It's very much that. But, the world is big enough for everyone, but it's not big enough for a billion multinationals.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, if people were made things more community based and domestic driven, there could be more of everything.
Yeah.
The bigger things get, they end up pushing out the little guy, and then I guess what a bit of a problem there is what you're saying there, Charles, is with quality. Like, someone can go out there and have what they thought is a craft beer, and their first experience of it is like, no, that's shit. I won't be going back to that.
Well, because I've had that extra for something that doesn't
man. And I've had that with. That was my experience with whiskey. I had whiskey. I first tried whiskey when I was about 8 or 9.
Yeah, but you're going to be drinking a swigger like your granddad's bottle of Bells or something.
No, it was like I was like 16, 17, and we had a party, and it was a bottle of Teachers.
Yeah.
And I did not get on very well with that, And Teachers is what it is, but it isn't something that you're going to. For me, especially at that age, it's strong out. It's strong spirit.
Yeah, but at that age, let's have it right. You're not sitting back in your cravat wanting to enjoy a smooth whiskey, are you? You are. I know we're speaking.
Are you doing that now? Do you wear a cravat? Do you own a cravat? Please say yes.
I don't know. I wish I did.
I own a cravat.
Did you?
Yeah. I don't know how to tie it, but I got one. My granddad passed away a couple of years ago, and his jacket there as well, actually. And it's got so much nice clothes, braces and everything. Like I say, no idea how to
And a
tie
cravat,
it. But it's
yeah.
there.
I've never had one.
Just in case.
It does look quite suave.
It's a really nice paisley one as well.
You'd pull it
Nice.
off, but you'd look like you was trying too hard.
There's something about the cravat and dressing gown that's a bit Hugh Hefner, though, isn't it?
I like that look. I don't think I'm that far away from that.
You're not, because I'm not. When I came over the other day, you was in your bloody dress. It was 8 in the morning. I was round, and you came in your lounge in the dressing gown.
It was 7 o'clock in the morning, and we had a load of people stay over because should we talk about what we done?
Yeah, all right.
We done the game. Remember the game Nightmare, the kids' TV show, which was like a kind of.
Might be a bit before my time.
It probably was.
You actually they put the helmet on that blinded them.
No,
It was kind of
You're in a room.
I definitely remember that. That sounds awesome.
it's wicked.
It was
mate.
post Crystal Maze kind of. Yeah, it was.
So I got the Crystal Maze comeback for a little bit on BBC Two. You know, when it was repeated for a
Yeah,
bit.
it's. We done that. Like the new version in London, and it was insanely brilliant.
What, Crystal Maze?
Yeah, it was amazing. But yeah, and the guy that was our Richard O'Brien on the Crystal Maze said, we're doing Nightmare next year. So that's why we got the tickets, and we went up to Underbelly, didn't we?
It was a good old laugh, yeah.
It was a right laugh.
South Bank, innit?
Yeah, it was a good day out.
Was it 15 quid a ticket, something like that?
Something like that, yeah.
You
yeah.
very kindly bought for me. Thank
There
you very much, mate.
See, and so, but going back to why you was being fucking rude.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he had the cheek to come into his own lounge where I was sleeping
at 7 o'clock in the morning.
in the shortest,
Dressing gown open.
shortest dressing
I've come
gown.
loose.
It was short. It was uncomfortably short. It was Garth Marenghi short. Right.
Well, it was you that instantly done up shoelaces when you didn't have any shoes on, and I was just like, "What's he doing?" Oh, there he is.
It's like I had those mirrors on my feet.
Yeah. Right. Well, look. I want to ask you, Charles, a little bit about you because you're a weird hippie.
Yeah. Well, I say that, yeah.
So
A reluctant hippie.
let's get some snacks on.
We just had a lemon. We just had a sort of lemon, a citrusy flavoured.
That was it, yeah. So, Time and Tide, we'll do a quick bit about them.
Yeah, of
before
course.
we talk extensively about my hippie family. They are, so they're what I'd call like proper craft beer. They're using weird ingredients and doing a bit of just something a bit interesting with it. One of their other beers that I really wanted to bring on just for pure comedy value is a vibrant pink beetroot infused wheat beer, and it's nicer than it sounds.
Yeah.
And they've got a chocolate white stout that's a collaboration with another brewery up north called Weird Beard Brewers. But they've just got some really, really good ones. There's
Called
another
what?
one.
Weird Beards?
Weird Beard Brewing Company. Yeah, they've got a lot of good branding though. Their labels are great, really, really great. I think they're based in Manchester, but they're really cool. And the other star for me is their rose petal infused saison. You've had the saison you had there.
Yeah.
Rose petal infused. If you did it, it adds a bit of a sweetness. If you didn't know the rose petal was there, I don't think you'd guess it was there. But as soon as you point it out, you bang on it straight there. And he's a crazy long-haired surfer dude, like one of those proper like Californian style. Blonde,
He's a radical guy. You'd get on with him, Chris, wouldn't you? You're rad.
I could share my snowboarding stories with
Yeah.
this.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's it. I was kind of expecting that. Kind of like, whoa, how you doing, man? But he speaks quite well. But he's like really, really cool down there, doing some really good things. If you're based in Tunbridge Wells, Fuggles Beer Caff had them that like a tap takeover, so they had like 12 of their beers on tap for a little while. I think they probably, I can't imagine they've shifted all of that yet, so there's probably still a bit on there.
Nice.
Fuggles Beer Cafe in Tunbridge Wells actually is a really good shout if you want to get some really good beers in.
Fuggles, is that a beer in itself?
It's a type of hop.
Yeah.
It's a traditional British hop.
Okay.
In most things.
Nice.
Sweet. Yeah, sounds very, very tasty.
So, what's your next? Right, I'll tell you what I'll say now. If you bring a vegetable thing into here, like them vegetable crisps,
I used to like them.
I can't really hook him up, I don't think.
I'll be really upset.
No, they are. Well, we'll get them out, and then it's not. But
Scampi fries.
But then,
Knickknacks used to do one like that.
right,
I had some the other day.
Oh!
I brought them back.
What?
Yes.
You'll never get the smell off your finger though. That's the thing. Right?
In many ways, it masks other smells, Charles.
I had one, didn't I?
You did. I was so happy. Oh my fucking god! Right. So.
Right,
Let's have a little look.
Can you read them, mate, or not?
I don't know. I'll find out in a minute.
Chris has got. Hold them up, right? This is what you've bought. You're so piss poor,
Open Shores.
right? That's the real deal.
Yeah.
What I've bought. There you go. That's the Garmin. That is a proper fanny-based snack.
I mean, you're right. It is, but I saw them. I thought I didn't know if you had any scampi fries left, and that does suit the nice citrus lager that we've just had. So I thought, yeah, whip them out.
They're half good though.
They are good, right? Wine's necking. Stu had a scampi fried knick-knack the other day, Charles.
Well, I see them in the shop, and I thought, ooh, ain't seen them for a while. I'll buy a bag, just so I could make some kind of fanny-based jokes.
Yeah.
And I handed them all out, and we all let them on the train drunk on the way home, didn't we?
Yeah. But that's not all that happened, was it?
Oh.
So, I got on the train and I accidentally immediately poured about half a can of beer down the carriage. And in an effort to clean it up, I took one knick-knack scampi and dropped it in the middle of it just to see if it would do much with regards to the absorbing. And it absorbed a lot, this knick-knack. It got a bit bigger and it was soggy.
You literally got a night out in a snack.
Yeah,
room,
it
did. Beer and prawns.
And we had the whole journey back home, and that knick-knacks was on the floor of the walkway of the C2C train service.
And how big are we talking about? Like inch diameter? Or?
Yeah, about that.
It's quite long.
Podcast gold, Chris.
Yeah, that.
About an inch and a half.
Thank you.
Think of
It was my fault. I initiated that.
Stuart's
sorry.
acorn. Stuart's acorn with the stem is what you're looking at for the length of this knick-knack. And basically, I don't know how we came to the subject of it, but I said, something along the lines, I wouldn't want to eat that, or I wouldn't do that for a dare. And you went, I would. And I said, a tenner, you'll eat that up off the floor. You was on that floor gobbling that knick-knack up.
Well, no, I didn't get on the floor.
You-
I picked it up and ate it.
I've got video footage of that.
Well, we'll put that on the on the Hardcore Listing YouTube channel.
That's disgusting.
It's just a crisp with some beer on it that have been on the floor. It don't matter. Like, really?
Standards.
Probably quite good for your immune system.
My immune system.
Picking up all sorts of weird stuff.
Great,
my-
probably
my-
great for your immune system. Probably terrible for your self-esteem that you were on public transport eating beer-drenched, dirty snacks up off the floor. We'll let the viewers and listeners decide.
All right.
On that
Like, the thing is, right, I've got...
I miss your hashtags that you used to do.
We haven't done a
You just
hashtag in
used
a
to
while,
be
have
like, hashtag dirty stew snacks or something.
Okay, hashtag dirty stew snacks.
Yeah,
Dirty stew snacks.
scampy pricknecks.
Scampy prick snacks.
Well, I've got like nothing. I never get stomach upset. I'm like I can eat anything. When I was on holiday, we was playing cards on the balcony, and
That's not going to make you ill.
what are they called, the little things that run around in holiday.
Dragonflies or cockroaches.
Cockroaches.
Yeah, and it just sat on the table and looked at me. So I just thought, I've seen that on I'm a Celebrity. Let's give it a whirl. So gone.
Mate.
No, you're wrong.
Like
Charles is a hippie and he thinks that's disgusting.
well, he's a vegetarian, so he's gonna think that's
Yeah.
unorthodox. Like, but yeah, I don't really think it matters. Like, I just think, and I just thought, I've just made 10 quid. I was pissed anyway, so it didn't matter.
Oh, mate. And then you... Here's the twist. We got back to here with a cab. Used that tenner for the cab, didn't he?
Yeah, you're
So,
right.
you
You're
did
right.
it. You did
You're
it for
right.
free in the end. I respect you for it, and there is a degree of truth on that. I think it is all psychological.
I've got to say that is a really good scampi crisp.
I was going to
Thank
say, yeah, I think that beats yours.
I'm impressed.
I'm glad you can have them as well, mate. I was a bit annoyed.
Well, I think so. I don't know if they were. It doesn't have the vegetarian tick on it, but I
All
couldn't find anything offensive in the.
all I'm going to
ingredients.
say is not all of those snacks you're going to be able to have.
Right. I did see some other things
Filth.
in the some murder.
I'm intrigued. Well, I'm going to throw a quick one in the mix,
Go on in.
which is that is a good crisp. It's a Brannigan smoked ham and pickle crisp.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that's the shit. So we can
Yeah, they
throw-
are good, those ones.
Yeah.
Sorry, I've crunched into the mic a lot after saying.
Oh, hello.
Yeah,
Admitted on camera.
well, they've been watching.
Oh, right, yeah. Okay, so Are we on to the next beer yet, or have you got?
We could do.
Yeah.
We could have a chatting beer. There's another can in there.
That isn't on one of your lists.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
Let's have a
from one
chatty
of the
beer.
brewers.
Well, let's have that.
Let's have a chat beer
It's big-
and
big
listen
enough
to
for Brad to
Charles'
have some
story.
as well.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that.
All
Great
right.
idea. Great idea.
Grand.
Which one is it?
After the chat, it's the can.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we'll have the chat now, and then that'll be an hour, Mark, and then we'll
Yeah. Oh, I'm liking the look of that.
Yeah, so this is a brewery we've got coming later on.
You got that?
They're probably my favourite one that I encountered, actually, these guys. This one's hitting the mic. This one's
should I pour?
crack on, yeah. Do you have another glass for Brad?
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
That's all right.
Some
Some of us
cognac
think about
one.
others.
So this is, it's like
That'd be yours then.
sorry, it's an old school can, isn't it? It's like a proper can, like
Is
you'd
there
get.
a lesson to pouring beer?
Yeah, hold the glass at a 45-degree angle
Not that I've worked in
pubs all his life.
pubs for the last 23
you've
years.
got
Yeah,
mangled.
slow
hands.
pouring, 45-degree angle, and just pour it slowly.
Actually, you've literally just thrown that out of
Yeah.
that can, haven't you? You really have. But what I'm going to say is that I've been a big fan of this packaging. That packaging reminds me of. Can I have a look? It reminds me of a beer that actually, it's quite cool. Do you remember Breakers?
Breakers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I've never had a good time on Breakers. I've
No.
never had a good
Breakers
time.
is a really weird one. Just chatting some other random beers while you're here. Have you heard of Breakers? And Breakers, we actually sold in the Pink Toothbrush, and it was synonymous with that place because you couldn't really buy it in many places. My dad used to drink it when he was a docker, when he was younger. And
That's why you turned out like you did.
what?
That's why you turned out like you did.
Oh,
said.
right. Okay, what? Is there some
Gone
kind
up there.
Ah, right.
Carry on. Sorry.
That joke was rubbish.
I kind of liked it.
You didn't like it that much because you're the first one to piss
So,
yourself at
yeah.
your own jokes,
Yeah.
and even you didn't laugh at your own joke.
It's very true.
Right.
It's just spiteful.
Yeah. That was. There you go. Chris Glasson, default
sorry.
setting, just fucking
sorry.
nasty. Yeah.
Carry on. Your dad worked on the docks.
No, now why are you making that sound like he was a sex worker?
I'm being nice now.
No, you're not.
Your
are
dad
you?
worked on the docks.
Stop saying it like that. Right, okay, so we don't need to talk about Breakers. Come on, tell us more about this beer that we're just having a little sip of. But I want you to tell us a little bit more about you as we get through this one.
This we'll do more about the brewery in a little bit, but it's just it's called the 90-minute saison.
Okay.
Cheers.
And,
Could you say that again? Sorry.
Brad.
the 90-minute saison.
Okay, lovely.
It's what I like about this packaging. Anybody on YouTube will be able to see it. Is it's got like a bar graph on it.
Oh, that is lovely.
That gives you all the information about how long, like what ingredients have gone into it, at what point they got into it, what stage in the brewing process it got into it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all
pretty
all
clever.
their beers. Yeah, it is.
I
Yeah.
don't think I've ever seen packaging like that before.
So it's 4.9%.
Yep.
It's brewed with love at the Hop Shed in Faversham, Kent. See, I love shit like that. Brewed with love. That's nice, isn't it? A classic, easy drinking ale, brewed in the Belgian farmhouse style, straw-coloured with a crisp yet restrained bitterness and a funky citrus tinged aroma. Okay, right, I'm going to ask you some things here, and
I think I know what you're going to ask, and I recently researched these myself.
you know the answers.
Yeah,
Right,
kind of,
okay,
yeah.
'cause it's got 4 circles on this can, and obviously one says 4.9% volume, so we all know what that is. 16.2 IBU. What's IBU?
That's international bittering units. So it gives you if you get the other beer out, it's the bottle. It's one of the bottles.
Wow.
Yeah, that one. That one's got a different bittering. That one's slightly more bitter, so it should have a higher number on it.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah, the one I've got here, I won't go into it because that's going to be one of the ones we're talking
That's the
about,
last
right?
one,
So I
yeah,
won't
yeah.
say too much about it, but that is much stronger, and the IBU is 50 against the 16.2 on the big can we're drinking.
Yep.
Okay, so we know that, and underneath it says 1039 OG. What's OG?
That is Original Gravity, which sounds like a good band. But that is the amount of you get. It's all like scientific, nerdy brewing stuff. But you get when you're brewing it, you use a gravity stick to find out how much sugar you've got in it, and that will give you like the ultimate alcoholic amount. I mean, this is where my knowledge of the brewing process starts to break down a bit. I'm a dispense technician. I'm not a brewer.
Sure.
But,
Okay. Well,
I'm just an appreciator, and I don't know what the other one is. IBU, I think is the last one.
EBC.
EBC. Yeah, that was it. I can't.
If anybody knows,
Yeah,
let us know.
I did look at it the other day, but it was one of those. It was an answer that was just boring enough for it to go out the other way.
If you do know, let us know. But don't act like a know-it-all online if you then went and Googled it and then went, it's that.
that's the sort of thing you would do.
Because that's my style.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, I know
Pretty
what
sure
this is.
the E is European. It's probably just another bittering scale, but it'll be a different one.
Okay.
But I like I said, I don't know.
So this, Charles, you were saying it comes in, it shows the process of how it was introduced. Right?
Yeah, so I think it says on there that, or it says in the blurb that it shows the quantity and the time. I don't know how you show your dog scratching my leg. I don't
Chris.
know.
He wants a feeding.
I don't know if it. I don't know how it shows the quantity or if it's the duration it's in there for or whatever. But it's because adding hops at different times in the brewing process releases different flavors from it. So if you put hops in right at the beginning of the brewing process and leave it in there while you're boiling it, you'll get loads of bitterness out of it. Whereas if you put it in right at the end for say 20 minutes, you'll get a more lighter, delicate taste.
Didn't know any of
And
that.
then you can dry hop as well. So once you've got the base of it, you wait for it to start fermenting. You do your first ferment, and then you can put the hops in afterwards. So you get an even finer taste, and you can have it in there for a lot longer.
Nice.
Nice. I think that's fantastic, and the
It's
fact
a really
that they
good
show
saison,
that,
actually.
how long the process was, I think that's really original in terms of packaging.
Do you know what? Before we start talking about you, and we start another beer, we've just gone over the hour.
Mm-hmm.
So should we take a little wee break and then come back and find out a bit more about you and your interesting life?
We have to, yeah.
Oh,
And we've got
crazy.
three beers to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me,
Sound
mate.
good, all right?
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
Right, we'll
Rather than the 3-hour marathon we did last time.
exactly. Yeah. See, look, we've got all professional now.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
know
I mean, it is a completely different ball game now.
excellent. I mean, fundamentally, we're still very shit.
Yeah,
make no
But
mistake.
you got the processes down.
Mostly got the
Yeah.
processes down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't change your personality. So.
No, we
Absolutely.
can't. You can't polish a turd. Catch you in part 2, gang.
Bye.
Bye.